I'm not just being funny, but as you can see, of course, this is not a home, but you know what I'm saying. Right now, it's very important for me to start off this video and let it be known my most recent video, Lightning Show, that I just recorded last night. That's one of the most important videos that you'll watch on this channel, all right? The fact is, I was not being bothered that whole video. I was not bothered by anything inside of me or touching my skin. You must understand this. Everything all of a sudden, yikes. Everything all of a sudden was external, if you can comprehend that. So my point in mentioning that is that I was able to speak, and it was in so-called weirdly, some people say coincidence, but synchronicity with the lightning strikes, and the evidence is in that video proven. So the point is, I was all right last night. I recorded that, and nothing was bothering me, but why am I feeling responses right now? But last night I wasn't. So there are videos like these that whenever I show people what it is that I'm going through in life, I can show them those two videos paired together. I'm actually going to be taking usurping clips from those videos, this one and that one. As far as when I say videos, I mean this one and that one shall be paired together. It's a joint thing. And so you got a before and after thing going on there. There before, what you saw was actually me recording what it's like with the lightning. What it's like with the lightning going on, if you understand that. Excuse me. What it's like with the, what it's speculated communication going on the outside via lightning right there. My mind is kind of honestly got thrown off right there, but honestly, what it was like, with me not being bothered and the outside world mattering more at that time. The storm was more of the matter at that time. When you're getting rained on and things like that, if you could understand, it's not the best time, most convenient time to harass somebody with touches and things like that. When somebody's got, like I've said to y'all many times, when you've got this curse going on, it's trying to make your life harder. If you got something else making your life hard on the outside, it's going to be on off time. All right? So that's a consistency that you'll see there. When I was in there and I was going through everything with my grandmother, and it was very hard in there, like it's been proven and recorded many days, that's when you saw it on off time. It was not bothering me because something, like I said, is pretty much merely doing its job for you. So the outside world, yesterday, last night, the weather that was going was a bother to me. My art some of it got wet, and so at that point, it's not deemed worth as much money as it was. And the facts are, beyond that, that's the end of excuse me, I got off track once again, but this is a proven fact of what you see right now. I'm not being bothered, am I? I'm not drawing. I haven't been bothered all day, if I told you the truth. Y'all can believe me or not believe me. You know I would record it if I could. But I was in the environment where I could not really record like that. Like I say, my phone got damaged. I have two phones, if y'all comprehend that. I've told y'all that and showed y'all that many times. If you see my phone, you have seen actually my phone on, or not even just two, but three of them. But one of them, which is the Apple iPhone, just got recently destroyed, too. This thing is always causing things like that. It's not funny at all. I'm always getting a fucking phone repaired. Every time that I get money, I have to get a phone repaired because of this piece of shit always bothering me in life. Something that nobody fucking needs because of that proof right there alone. Who the fuck needs? What's the point in having a phone if it's going to continue to get broken and broken and broken and broken? Understand what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to go without a phone. Something that I'm grateful for, being able to witness the world around. I'm grateful for this. I expressed the gratefulness for having a phone. I expressed the gratefulness for having social media as well too, because it's not just about the phone, it's what the phone does. The phone is a record of, everybody could not throughout the fabric of time, look at what they looked like 2 or 3 years ago by the day basis. I mean, just quickly. You ain't got to do no researching, no waiting and stuff like that. Get on a computer, wait on something to upload or download or dial up speeds and stuff like that. You instantly can just go on your phone and see what the fuck you was doing 5 years and as the time goes on, a lifetime ago. And so, yes, I love the technology and I'm grateful for it. I don't hear this thing is arguing and trying to say, of course, that I'm not grateful. It's heating up my left feet and it's done that every time. That's why I keep repeating myself. I'm feeling argumentation from this thing. My left hand is heating up. My left foot is heating up. And so what I'm expressing to y'all is, who else do y'all, if I'm not grateful as this son of a bitch is trying to say? Now, why would it be argumentative? I don't know with that. Who else have y'all ever heard express gratefulness for these phones? Or do y'all more so say and hear people saying that we need to get off of them, get away from them, get into nature? Because I agree with both of them. There's a time for each of them. But just because we need to be close to nature and everything does not mean that we haven't been given the mind that we've been given in order to advance us to the point and use the technology that we're using today. It might not be the most energy or earth bio-efficient technology, but regardless, we trying. And upon this being done, the fact is it could be turned into bio-efficient technology. That could be the whole opt of the new world, turning phones like these, which are not in synchronicity with the good of the earth as far as lithium battery fluid and things like that, into more of a lighter technology. There's liquid, there's solid going on with this right here. And if you can comprehend and understand what I'm saying, then you can see that would be the day of tomorrow. An advancement of this technology would turn from it being very heavy, liquefied, solid quartz crystal for your screen and things like that. All of these things would change into more of a lighter, more energy efficient world. And that's what you have coming for you if you could comprehend that and look at the advancement of technology. I'm not just making up anything. That's part of the game. Eventually you have to look at things like, if we're going to have a better and more in earth synchronistic world, we cannot just keep on digging holes from the earth. This comes from the earth. You're going to run out of material eventually. And these are the things that people don't think about every day. And once that happens, that's where you have what you call a world downfall or an apocalypse or something like that. The world around you shall not ever be the same. That world ends and a new one has to come in. And so instead of waiting on downfalls to happen, you need minds like mine that are speaking of, expressing gratefulness for technology like I just said, and furthermore expressing the gratefulness of it even more so by expressing the smart mind and intelligence behind it that could keep it safe, advancing in the first place. Because that's exactly what the heck it is. It can only advance from where we're at. I mean, literally, you're not going to go backwards. They're not going to go back to CDs, if y'all understand that. Right now, at least. They will be valued in the future whenever this technology makes a downfall and you can't utilize anything to listen to music, such as internet, for a minute. But there you go. Because if the sun sent off something and it caused the world to have a problem or something like that, and you heard me say this first, something coronal or something like that, not attack the earth, but just a natural process of reaction, it will cause an effect to the energy grid, if y'all understand it, and we will have to revamp it. And coming back the same ain't gonna be smart. You see what happened, and what happens is the first time we would have dealt with something like that. And usually once human beings deal with the effects of something, they see how bad that affects them. That's when they realize, okay, we don't want to go through that shit again, so we're gonna do something to keep it from happening, period. And like I said, instead of waiting on these things to happen, why not go ahead and initiate the thought of at least getting these things made? The thoughts come from minds like this. So, like I say, I'm grateful for the technology. I'm not grateful for this piece of shit being around me, acting like it could question anything that come out my mouth. There's no learning experience I'm having from this besides things like I showed last night with that lightning that people will call you crazy for. But what are the odds, if you ask me? If you look at the timing that's going on there, I was so quiet for a very long amount of time as far as speaking about lightning. I had not spoke about it. I was speaking about other things. But lo and behold, as soon as I brought up lightning, you mean to tell me it's a coincidence that it just sparked off like that? As soon as I mentioned speed, even one of the times, you mean to tell me right after it had been so quiet for so long, no lightning had went off, no thunder, then boom, it happens. That's not a coincidence. That's, if anything, the most proof. Like, y'all are not gonna hear words. You have to pay attention to my life and the events that happen. What I'm saying is see how, okay? Because from volcanoes going off, like I said, volcanic activity, not earthquake activity, that was one thing. God could not understand that the power of controlling weather does not lie in just man's hands. He has ability to tweak the weather and cause different cloud seeding, things like that, but the Almighty God, creator of this that we call weather, gets the last say so at the end. So whether that was God, my thing is, this is a learning experience on my own behalf, because I don't know. I question every day whether what is bothering me is God or some evil spirit. Because if you're doing stuff like that, how are you a good spirit but doing sexual stuff to me? You understand what I'm saying? Doing sick, evil, sexual stuff to me. That's not helpful. That's not helping me at all. And in fact, it's contradictory to, if the God of the Bible were real, if you're going to say that the God of the Bible is the real, true God, now you're contradicting yourself and going completely, and nobody says that, nobody says that God has a right to sin and do things that he told us not to do. Where does it say that in the Bible? It is okay for God to sin, but not you. It's okay at that point for God to be gay, commit gay, sick actions, but not you. I don't want to in the first place. But this is the honest to God truth. I cannot stand gay shit. I can't. I love pussy too much to like anything male. I don't like to be around y'all males. Y'all cause problems. If anybody gonna get shot, guess who usually gonna get shot? It's gonna be a male. Guess who usually gonna do the shooting too? Usually a male gonna do the shooting. Gonna start something like, so on the news, the stabbings, the serial killers and things like that, guess who they usually are? They're usually males. That's just the honest to God truth. So I realize in life, if you want to live a beautiful life, a happy life, like everybody has the right to, because ain't nobody gonna show me no proof where you ain't got the right to. So it's stay away from males. They always want to start something. They're the first ones to get jealous. They're the first ones to want to kill you. They're the first ones to think that what they say goes and things like that. So I just stay away from them altogether, and I'm gonna keep this speech everywhere the fuck that I go, because eventually it's gonna be other men that hear what I say, and damn, he's saying that based on intelligence, he don't fuck with other men like that. And shit, you know, it is smart. Yeah, you can live your life and do everything. Are you more of a man by fucking with men, a group of men needing to fuck with other men, or are you more of a man by being able to do every damn thing, accomplish every goal by yourself and not need other men at all? That's more of a man. And so if you're hearing me saying what I'm saying, then you'll understand the intelligence behind it. It's more manly for you to just be a man of your own anyway, and not want to be around these men that's not on the same page with you. For what? I mean, what is they really doing for you? For real. What can another man do for you? Open a job opportunity besides things like that. Most men ain't got nothing, no good heart towards you at all. Most men. You have to be spiritual in order to get there. Your spirit has to be right, period. So I'm good as long as I stay away from y'all men, because as long as you around women, 9 times out of 10, y'all having a good time. You getting some pussy or something. I'd rather be around women getting pussy than sitting up being around men. What the fuck is the deal with y'all dudes want to be around dudes all the time? I feel like that's gay as hell. For real. It's suspect as hell. I'd rather have my dick wet up in some pussy, bro. For real. And so that's why I carry myself how I do. If I'm not discovering something, being innovative, being smart and intelligent, I'm telling you right now, that's the only thing to be on my mind, bro. I don't be messed up about nothing else. I like to make girls feel good, and I like them to make me feel good. That's my thing, for real. So I don't know about nobody else, but that's what the fuck as a man, you come here for that. You ain't come here for other men. You ain't got that down there for other men. What the hell do they got on you for them? On them for you? For that. I love to hear an answer, because I hear that crazy, see that crazy stuff in here. I love to see a comment, somebody drop a comment. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm gonna end this stream right here. I know that the environment doesn't know that I'm live streaming. Anybody that can hear me will think that you're talking to yourself and stuff like that. And I don't want that to be like that. But I live stream and shit like that. And I'm not trying to be too loud or interruptive or nothing like that. And I just wanna, I'm at the end this here. As y'all can see, this was just a test run. I'm not being touched on. I don't feel anything touching me like this spirit does me every single second of the day. Nothing is going on bothering me right now. Nothing. Because I'm not drawing. It's trying to drive me through hell and say and block me off from doing what it is that brings me happiness. Because everything that brings you happiness is what creates heaven for you, period. Everybody, whenever they think of heaven, they're thinking of what makes them happy. You know, all dogs go, what would be a dog's heaven? All of the dog treats that you could ever think of, right? Ain't that what make dogs happy? All the dog treat, I mean, it's just heaven. You know what I mean? Everything just right. Drawing makes life like that for me. While all of this bullshit could be going on around me, as long as I got a drawing in front of me with my skill level that I have, I've always been shown that everything gonna be all right. It's not about just using, it's about the fact that this is something that you use to, the whole world around you is built on this. That apartment complex right there, somebody drew that out. That all of these houses, somebody drew these out. It's blueprint basis, design basis. How did that look like that if you didn't map it out and draw it out first? I mean, something could have got thrown off there, not measured correctly. This goes, my shoes that you see here. Somebody fashion design these. All of your fashion designers draw out your clothes. Drawing is the beginning of every single thing in the world around you. It's not a lie. Your phone, how it's designed, there you go. We might have computers that you can draw on now, but somebody had to design that with something that mimics pencil and paper. Literally. So I'm trying to help people understand it's intelligence behind how I move, man. As long as this is in front of me, I got something that opens the door for money. Somebody need a tattoo drawn. Somebody need a logo made for a business they trying to open. You know what I mean? There's always something like that that needs to be done. This is the honest again. It's people needing tattoos right now that need the best artist that you think they want the worst artist to put something on their skin that's gonna stay there for the rest of their life. Okay, they want the best artist that they could come across. And long as I'm working and showing that I got the best art around, shit, I should be if you could understand that, I should be the #1 tattoo artist. But I can't right now, only in life, because I got, every time I pick up a pencil and start drawing, this shit start. I start feeling shit touching on me. That's because this is a spirit that is starting to that's trying to embark on and and prove a point. If it's mental, why would I, in my own brain, which I've been drawing my whole life, sit up there and start associating touches and feeling crazy with me drawing? It don't make sense. What drugs am I taking that influence that behavior? Because I don't do nothing but smoke weed. I'm a naturalist. I'm a vegan. Like I said in the last video, I pay attention to what it is I put in my body based on eating. So therefore, I'll go out here, I will starve out here before I eat a piece of meat. And I'm not lying. Y'all will watch me die on camera before I eat something that I know is life that deserves to live in my eyes and my spiritual, at the climax that I'm at. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna see it as less than me and eat it. I explained to y'all that already. You know about the fish dying up on shore and stuff like that. There's a natural way of eating meat and stuff like, if it's dead, it washed up on shore, I can understand if anybody's starving and chose to cook that and eat that. It wasn't nothing. It was going to die anyway and go into the ground. You're not doing it out of evil. You have to survive. You didn't kill something yourself. It had to. You get what I'm saying? There's a difference between overriding your righteous heart, knowing that this is something that ain't bothering you, and it's or paying for that and paying into that, and looking over a righteous heart and choosing to kill something that ain't bothering you. Is living his life. Now, what if it was you? Would you want something to do that to you? That's the okay then. You got people who choose to be vegan because of their self. So they almost there. They choosing to be as healthy as possible. They know that eating meat is toxic and nasty for you because of their self. And then you got people who choose to be vegan, which is the upper echelon vegan. They not going to start, because the other one could start back eating meat. All they got to be is convinced at that point that meat is more healthy. That is, and they're going to be right back to eating meat. So they really, it ain't a heart thing. It's more so a selfishness thing. Me, myself, me being better. But the person that chooses to stop eating meat because of the animals, that's the better upper echelon person. They said, I'm going to stop because of that animal. If I was that animal, I wouldn't want this happening to me. That's the person that has a better heart. Honest to God. Straight up. So, at the end of the day, that's why I choose to move, how I choose to move. You see me not being bothered right now. That's because I'm not drawing. But if I do go through any phase of, and the more that I'm in the public eye, because see, this is right now, I'm working my way into the public eye. I'm going to be live streaming all the time, whether on X or here on YouTube, what I'm going through, my every single time that I'm going through that nonsense. And as well recording when I'm not, like now. Because the thing is, you have to pay attention to everything it is that I do, because it proves a lot. Because a lot of people will question things. Like maybe it's the smoking weed. Is the weed making you feel stuff touching on you, feel schizophrenic? Well, the proof was in last night's video. I smoked last night 2 joints. Where was it touching at then? You get what I'm saying? So that debunks the weed enough times that that's happened. You understand what I'm saying? So can't nobody say that shit, because it's one thing to say maybe it's the weed, but then you got proof, video evidence, compiled video evidence of you smoking and nothing bothering you. But as you got plenty of evidence as well, as soon as you start drawing, now you going through hell. As soon as you pick up your pencil and paper and start drawing, you start feeling uncomfortable, feeling stuff touching on you, heat to your hands and stuff like that, targeted heating and shit like that. That shit ain't cool. And it's just something trying to prove a point. And it's not gonna prove it with me. I'm not gonna stop drawing for shit. It's not even an idea. Period. It's not even an obsession. Did you hear what I just said to you about the whole world around you being built off of drawing? What is the most, I just thought about this earlier. When it comes down to how much a mansion is, right? Do y'all not realize that you can make a song, but it can't be worth millions of dollars? Unless you're talking about the platinum plaque that you put on the wall. You can't make, and we talking about artists, right? What makes the most money in the world is the question. What occupation? So we know that basketball players, football players and things like that, they get paid lump sums of money. We know that going to a job, you're not ever gonna go to any job out here and they give you millions of dollars for working that job. It don't work like that out here. But that's why people want to go big. The only way that you're going to become a millionaire so quick in this world is through being a sports player of some sort or a musical artist. If you understand, they give you a deal at that point. And usually those got quirks to it. It's not what you think. And what I'm expressing is, among this here being understood real good, what is the next industry in which you can get that great amount of money? We're talking about lottery numbers. The art industry, from painting something, you get more than any one song could ever make. One painting literally can be worth $450 million if you make something valuable enough and worthy enough. And that's where me making my huge drawing fractal blueprint, where's the value of that? It takes somebody to say, how do you know that that's worth that much though? That's where I can prove that mine has historical value in other drawings They can't do that. Other paintings that are worth the same amount cannot do what mine can do. And then at that point, that shows value and proves value. Beyond that, at that very moment, someone would have to, for me to not, at that point, I've proven that I've got something more valuable than that, if you can understand that. Now somebody's job is to prove to me that my stuff is, regardless of you having it and meaning that much, and this $450 million painting being worth this much, regardless of that, it ain't worth what you're talking about. And they have to prove to me how. And I guarantee it's going to be hard. Because once that's even understood, they probably going to say to themselves, damn, this drawing is doing more than the Mona Lisa, more than the Salvator Mundi. It's got to be worth more than. You think they ain't going to consider that? It's bigger than it. I'm telling you, it might be the first $1 billion drawing. That's the only way you could outdo $450 million. They ain't going to just bump it up 1 million. It might be the first $1 million drawing. It might. And remember that I did tell you that. $1 billion, I mean, $1 billion. And so my point is, where do you see anything else in the world that costs more than a mansion itself, besides jewelry, right? Your mansions cost, like, on average, probably $33 million per state. $33 million. Do you not realize that a painting is one of the only things in the world that costs more than a mansion? If it sells with Sotheby's in these auction places, if you make just the right painting. So everybody chooses to want to go big when it comes to, as far as black men, being a musical artist. If you understand that, being a football player, but they forget and look over the whole other art industry of, like, Basquiat, being able to paint something, bro. Dude had one of the easiest paint styles, and just you being able to paint a picture, draw a picture that's valuable, that you can get more money than all of them. But they ain't woke up to that yet. It takes a mind like mine with something valuable to show and prove, because they ain't gonna believe it either until they see it happen enough times. They got Jay-Z that did it. They got Lil Wayne that did it. They got countless musical artists every day that's doing it. But how many young black men have done that they can relate to, that come from a similar area, got a similar raising and background? Ain't too many of them. And that's where you got myself to fit that criteria, to break the ice. So besides this, man, I got to save this battery, bro. I don't want to run it down that much, but as you can see, ain't nothing bothering me, bro. I'm just as normal as I can be. And if something were trying to set me up to, what is the main thing that could make you something in life right now in this position? My drawing could get me paid more than any job could if I get it off of the ground. If people understand that. One drawing that I make of that ability, that skill level, how much could one 8x10 drawing cost? One of them. You could sell every one of them for $100. That portraits. If I drew somebody's portrait, I could sell that fucker for $100, and I won't be over expensive either. You understand that? It don't based on how much time at that point that it takes me to create a portrait. Without this thing in my life, it don't take me that long. Now, every day, if you did a portrait for somebody every day, you got $100 that week. I mean, $100 that day. The next day, $100. The next day, $100. The next day. By the end of the week, you've made $700. In 2 weeks, if you did that for 2 weeks straight, you just made $1,400 just by drawing 14 people. That's how much. That's equaling up to what a lot of people ain't getting at. I mean, a lot of people ain't getting it. And you can't do portraits forever. So that's why I taught y'all that beyond you doing portraits, as an artist, you want to be skilled in every single word that you could think of as an artist. Don't just do tattoos if you're going to be an artist, a tattoo artist. You want to be able to, once you ain't got no more portraits to do, because everybody don't need a portrait. And after you do one, you're not going to be doing another portrait of that person 9 times out of 10. If you could get that. You've done them, they X'd out. Nobody gonna keep on getting their face drawn over and over and over again. It's just something that you could do to make money that ain't nobody else doing. You know what I mean? And that's what this opening door for making money. Doing something that nobody else can do. That leaves you no competition. Supply and demand. If you understand that. So beyond that, You want to be able to do logo designs if you're not doing tattoos, logos. There are other forms of art, just being an art teacher as well, things like that. There are different ways to make money that you can be rich just by having yourself in every single department possibly that you could fit in based on your art style. Real talk. So that's why I keep this as my priority, because literally a job ain't got me nowhere. Every job, somebody else could fire me. They chose how much money I made. When I do this, I just chose how much money I could go $200 if I wanted to per portrait. It might be too much, but once you get yourself correct, there you go. There are people paying $300 based on certain artists drawing their portrait. Depending on size, there was 8x10, I said too. 11x14 would be applicable for $300 if you can understand that. That's from here to about here as far as a drawing. That's worth that $300. Understand that when you're a photographer and you take a picture of something, it ain't worth near as much as a drawing. That's handmade work. So besides that, man, this is where I end this video. All right, I didn't want to be too talkative, but I did at least get 30 minutes recorded of time where I'm sitting up here not being bothered. It's going to go from, and just like this, from me being out here on the outskirts where people can see me and stuff like that at their own will. People can spy on you and stuff like that, be looking at you and you not know, you know. And at that point, there's always somebody watching. And what that means is people could see what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm sitting up here and they don't see anything wrong with me, if anybody could see me. But as soon as I start to draw, there's a problem. It's gonna go from out here on the outskirts to closer in public, tangibly, to where people can walk right past you and talk to you, because I'm actually gonna be going to the library to start working on my project here throughout the day. Every day y'all will be going with me to the library in order for me to finish up this project. And I'm opting for it to be finished and completed before it gets too cold. I don't want to be too cold, because at that point I could take it up to the art museum, and at that point, there you go, my life can change. My job could come, or my career even could come at the art museum after they see something like that. With my common sense, after you see something like that, most people gonna feel like after they realize what money could come from it and what you've done, most people gonna want to give you a job. They're gonna be like, damn, this is gonna go big someday, so let's give this dude a job, you know, because I don't want to be the one who turned him down the job. This is where this becomes like a Masonic door opener, if you can understand that. How Freemasons can flash the symbol, flash this and show that, and you know, all of a sudden they got value. They can do certain things. Well, that's what I'm telling y'all when it comes to my own discovery. It has power like that. It will open doors just from people literally realizing how much power it has. It'll open doors. All it takes is for one powerful door, one meaningful door, one amazing thing to happen with it, and that's it. Everybody else that sees that, they're gonna follow right in line. Corporate greed and drug money fuel the global finances, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that's true. Shout out to you for telling the truth. Besides that, man, I'm gonna end this right here like I had said, bro. That's the total for today. That's the total is my new